Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sarika Makol from Sage Group of Institutions. Today I am going to talk about organization culture and climate, its introduction, importance, as well as the difference between culture and climate, which is more important in the organizations. In the subject organization behavior. So let us talk about first of all organization culture. See, before talking about organization culture, I just want to talk about only culture. Culture means the way of life. It is shared values, philosophies, ideologies, assumptions, beliefs, expectations, attitude, and norms that knit a community together. Without culture, we cannot live in the social world. We can say that culture is an integration of human group ideas, customs, and tradition. Because without customs and tradition, we cannot live in this society. So, the culture always gives us the way of life. The basic concept of culture lies in two terms, that is history as well as shared phenomena. History, it may be stated that cultural models of society are passed on from generation to generation. It is hereditary. It's keep on going from one generation to another generation. That is why it is called as culture. It is a long-term process. It cannot be changed in a short-term period of time. Whereas it is also a shared phenomena, it states that the cultural ethos are shared among the members of the society. Only then it can be moved from one generation to another generation. Now we talk about organization culture. In every organization, culture has to be built up. Only then we can be able to get success or can be able to achieve our objectives in a consistent manner. So the common perception held by the organization members is a system of shared meaning. Everything that is rules, norms, values, attitudes, behaviors should be shared among the employees of the organization. Only then that can be developed into some behavior of the employees. So we can say that organization culture is the set of assumptions, beliefs, values, and norms that are shared by an organizational members. And these cultures are being developed by the founders of our organization, because they are the people those who have think about the organization to that very particular level, which is right, which that organization lies at that very particular position. Now, this is the definition of organizational culture. The organizational culture is a system of shared beliefs, as I have already told you, that believes what we are into that very particular organization, and the attitudes of the employees that develop within the organization and guides the behavior of its members. It is not culture cannot be developed in one day or two. It takes time. It takes a longer time to develop a culture in an organization, and it is always based on the shared values, shared knowledge, which is being shared by the seniors management people who have seen the dream of building that organization in such a manner. So, according to Gareth Morgan, organizational culture can be defined as the philosophies, ideologies of our seniors, values, assumptions, beliefs, expectations, attitudes, and norms that knit an organization together and are shared by its employees. Like, for example, we can say that Mr. J.R.D. Tata has seen one dream and has developed one culture which is keep on going from generation to generation, that we have to work on with honesty and with ethics. That is why the Tata has reached that very height, just because of their this kind of a culture, humanity, as well as humbleness towards the employees and towards the stakeholders of the company. So because of that, Tata Group is what it is right now. Now, these are the certain examples of organizational culture in Indian companies. Like, for example, Amazon India is having a culture of instructed his employees to refrain from responding to any emails or phone calls between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. This is a very good culture which is following in Amazon India. TCS is following the MATRI, which aims to reach out to employees' families as well as bring them together for various cultural events. This can build up the connect between employees as well as the organization. Godrej Consumer Products is a talent search initiative used on the Godrej campus. This program is for recognizing some creative and passionate individuals with huge potential. This is its culture in Godrej. Bharti Airtel is having its culture that it having to maintain the work-life balance. It provides daycare facilities for the working mothers so that they can work at their workplace without any interruption, without any distraction, and they can give their best at their workplace. Flipkart is following that expecting mothers can receive a stipend as a transport allowance for 2 months before opting for maternity leave. This will give connect to those female workers towards their company. Hindustan Lever because managers at Hindustan Lever can take advantage of the company's career break policy for up to 5 years so that they can pursue higher education, maternity or paternity leave, or take on another personal goals. So this is again a very nice culture which develops a good relationship between employer and employees, and that connectivity will become, and you can connect with the organization and do best for your organization if the organization is doing best for you also, your personal life. Now, see, this is the importance of organization culture. If we follow this culture, this kind of a culture, generation on generation, this will provide a very significant role in the growth of our organization, in the development of our organization. Like it engages the people because people connects with the organization. If organization is doing good for them, so they will also definitely return it in good. It creates synergy effect, which says 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. It operates as social glue because it bonds people together and makes them feel part of the organizational experience. As organization is giving them importance by giving importance to their families, to them, and other criterias. It helps in sense making. It helps employees understand what goes on and why things happen in the company, because culture creates transparency, culture creates shared values. So if everything is being shared with the employees, so there should not be any kind of a misconception among the employees. It can act as control system also, because if there is a culture, so everybody has to follow that values, norms and rules of the organization. So everything would be done in a controlling manner, makes everyone more successful as there is a bond and everybody is doing work towards the organizational goals. Now we'll talk about organizational climate. As culture gives the ways of life, whereas climate creates the environment in which the workers are working. So it is again one of the important thing. Organizational climate is a collective perception of the work environment by the individuals within a common system. This shows the individual perception about the environment of the organization. So, organization climate is relatively enduring quality of the internal environment of the organization that is being experienced by the members, which influence their behavior. Whatever the environment there in the organization, definitely that impacts the behavior of the employees working over there, their motivation level, their behavior, their attitude, all depends on the environment of the organization. Now, there is a difference between organization culture and climate. What is that? Culture refers to ideologies, values, and norms, which can be reflected in stories and symbols. Why stories? Because culture builds from generation to generation. It is not a 1 or 2 day activity. That is why it can develop through stories given by our founders. Climate, on the other hand, refers to the psychological environment as reflected in attitudes and perception of the employees working over there. Culture evolves over a number of years, as I've already told you, through goodwill and reputation, which is being built by the founders and the other senior members who are working over there for long. It involves, whereas climate evolves according to the needs of the organization by current environmental forces, because it is a short term kind of a thing, whereas organization culture is a broader framework that determines organizational climate. It means that culture only determines the environment of the organization. It is the culture on which the climate can be dependent. So climate is a short term that defines its day-to-day functioning. So it cannot easily, organization culture cannot be easily changed and manipulated, because changes are absolutely introduced if necessary. Because culture cannot be changed, it keeps on moving from generation to generation. If it is needed for the growth of the organization, only then the culture can be changed. Climate can be manipulated and changed according to the needs of the environment, as it is short term and it is based on the day-to-day functioning. So if day-to-day functioning is disturbing, so the climate can be changed, or the rules and regulations can be changed, which is creating a disturbing climate in the organization. Culture focus on values and norms of the organization, whereas organization climate focus on the current work practices of the organization. Climate goes with the flow with the marketing conditions in current market conditions, whereas culture developed in the history or in the past. So that is the difference between culture and climate. So we can say that climate is the part of the culture, where culture builds the climate of the organization. Now, what is the significance of organizational climate? If the climate of the organization is good, it increases the employee performance, because employees will get motivation in doing work in a good environment where there is no suffocation, where there is no hesitation in explaining anything to their employers. It develops strong relationships because of the proper feedback system. It is the determinant of success or failure, because if the environment is good, everybody is doing work with the full productivity, and which will lead to the success of individual as well as of the organization. Managers can get their work done easily because the environment is good. Everybody would like to do work in that healthy environment. It develops confidence among the employees as well as the employer. The resources would also be conserved. It will not be wasted, as environment is healthy and everybody is doing work in a team and do work for win-win situations. Social benefit will also be there, because there is a social bond between the employees and employers. It obviously reduces turnover. If environment is good, healthy, sound, so nobody would like to leave the organization. They would always try to work in a healthy manner. It develops a sense of attachment with organization, because if organization is doing good for the people, they will also be good for the organization. It develops healthy organization, healthy relationships. Definitely, if mind is calm and cool, they will create innovativeness, creativeness would be there. It increases productivity among the employees, and if productivity will be improved, the ultimately the organization will be able to achieve their goals and the profit, and that would also be distributed among the employees only. So in short, we can say that if the culture and climate is good of any organization, that will definitely reach to the heights. They will definitely get success in their organizational goals. That's all.